Привет, привет. Подключайтесь, друзья. Сейчас мы ждем Давину и начнем. Надеюсь, меня слышно, видно хорошо. Все хорошо. Заходите, подключайтесь, и мы начинаем. По идее, она должна вот-вот подключиться. И начнем. Расскажите пока, как у вас дела, чего делаете, чем заняты. Здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Расскажите, чем заняты, чего делаете. Работа не волк, в лес не убежит. Можно и отдохнуть, да? Hello there. Так, чего еще нового? Бегаем. Ну, надеюсь, успешно бегаете. Очень на это надеюсь. Сейчас с нашим коллегой. Что-то она пока не заходит. Ну, давайте пока сами. Добывал Driving to McDonald's. О, это хорошее занятие. Это прям слезы пошли. Круто. Только много на ночь не кушайте. Но это я не к тому, чтобы... В общем, мне завидно, поэтому я так говорю. На самом деле ешьте. Все, Давина написала, что она заходит, поэтому ждем. Должно быть интересно. Так, на самом деле, с того момента, когда я последний раз заходил сюда в прямые эфиры, здорово, Андрюх, многое изменилось. Давайте посмотрим. Тут можно... Всякое можно делать. В общем, забавно. Так. Ух ты, сколько эффектов. Лёш, здравствуй тоже. Так. Ладно, не буду баловаться, а то сейчас что-нибудь сломается. Расскажите, как у вас дела, что еще делаете, как день прошел, друзья мои. Я вот работал, ничего нового, собственно говоря, не произошло. Надо почаще делать, думаю, прямые эфиры, как-то прям, классно. Ага. Пока нету. Ну ладно. Running. Lazy day. Бегай, не отвлекайся. Не упади, темно. Lazy day это хорошо. Но не в моем случае. К сожалению. Или к счастью. Не знаю. Вот, можете мне что-нибудь спросить. Собственно говоря, сейчас мы будем болтать с Давиной. Девушка у нас из Ирландии, она говорит по-русски, но я так понимаю, что по-английски она говорит лучше. И мы с ней немножко начнем по-русски, она представится, ну, вы увидите. И она застряла немножко на уроке, поэтому немножко задержится. Пока так, always out. Давай. Так, чего еще я хотел вас спросить? Вот, а по поводу Давина хотел сказать, что мы будем болтать по-русски сначала, затем переключимся на английский. Поэтому это будет у вас... О, вот и она. В эфир. Ну, это зависит уже от нее. Если она захочет, то можем и по-гельски уйти. Давина, здравствуй. Пока не слышно, не видно. Ну, может быть, только мне, не знаю. Вообще напишите, как соединение. Нормально, слышно, все хорошо? Я такой болтаю, а может быть, все тормозит. Друзья, слышно меня? Хорошо. Ничего не подлагивает. Не видно ее. Так, давайте еще раз попробуем. Что-то не получилось. Что-то пока не получилось. Ну,
Окей, hello,
Давина,
sorry.
привет, здравствуй.
Привет, привет.
Мы с тобой немножко по-русски сначала начнем. Ты
Окей,
не против?
окей, no problem. Мгм.
Окей, no problem, да. Окей, отлично. Ну, собственно говоря, я тебя приветствую на нашем эфире. Наконец-то у нас получилось связаться. И вот, расскажи о себе пару слов. Откуда ты, чем занимаешься, что любишь, что не любишь.
Мгм.
Вперед.
Окей, я родилась в Вильнюсе, потом жила в Лондоне. Сейчас являюсь как бы ирландской гражданкой, живу в Ирландии, в городе Корке, и всю свою жизнь преподавала английский, и также преподаю сейчас, но сейчас преподаю онлайн, потому что путешествуем много, у мужа работа, связанная с проектами в разных странах. В
Мгм.
данный момент находимся в Дании.
О, круто. Очень круто. Ладно. Так, ну, собственно говоря, у нас будет такой небольшой формат сегодня интервью. Примерно вопросы я накидал. Посмотрим.
Okay,
Там будут немножко провокационные, может быть, посмотрим.
very good.
Да. Друзья, особенно к моим подписчикам обращаюсь, мы будем болтать по-английски, поэтому если кому-то что-то непонятное эфир мы сохраним, кому надо скинем и на уроках разберем.
Ну хорошо,
Вот.
если надо, они могут писать и скажут, что они
Да.
хотят, чтобы мы
Да,
говорили
да,
по-русски.
обязательно пишите вопросы. У вас прекрасный русский, пишут вам Савинов Алексей,
Oh, thank you.
поэтому да. Поэтому мы переходим на английский, окей? Okay. So, tell us please about your teaching experience. Like, when did you start and why did you decide to become a teacher?
Well, first of all, I just copycatted my dad, to be honest, because he was a lecturer at a military academy. And yeah, I grew up all my life knowing that I'll be a teacher, you know. When other girls were playing like with dolls, like daughters, mothers, those kind of things, I was always playing school and writing negative marks in red ink. So, yeah.
That's a nice game for a child.
Yeah.
Wonderful game.
Kind of, yeah. I always knew I'm going to be a teacher, yeah. And went to teachers training university straight away. But I was kind of choosing Russian as a foreign or English as a foreign, and kind of, but at that time, obviously, when I studied many years ago, like more than 15, yeah, it was English was very popular. It was kind of booming, and yeah, that's how I became an English teacher. And at some point, I studied Russian as well as a foreign language, and but then I haven't spoken it like for more than 10 years, and now I'm back to speaking in Russian as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and always taught English. Yeah, so then TOEFL, then online teaching. When I kind of moved from Vilnius, I've done some teaching for natives as well, for special needs. So I worked in schools in London and in Cork Island, and yeah, teaching natives and non-natives and immigrants, and yeah, as a language resource teacher, as special needs teacher, and always was teaching foreigners English as a foreign language.
Yeah, you have a brilliant English, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me, please, like you said that you have experience of teaching offline to groups of people,
Yep.
and how it's different from teaching online, and what do you prefer?
That's a tricky one. I like both. They're different. If we talk about groups, I definitely prefer adults to kids, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I do some Chinese students groups for young learners, Chinese, you know, but like I don't teach young Russian kids, so I don't know how Russian kids are. Um, yeah, like I like both differently, but probably it's more comfortable, no time to travel, you know.
Yeah.
But depends, you know, it's hard to answer this question. I haven't taught in private because I used to have private students back in Cork. Like several years ago, I had some guys coming to my house, but then I kind of realized like I have to prepare the room and everything, you know. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
too much.
Probably in terms of comfort, I would definitely choose online and being in the comfort of your own zone, you know, like from your home. So, yeah, probably I'm just wishy-washy here, but I just can't answer this question. Sorry.
I fully understand you, because now you can see the beautiful picture behind me, but all around is a mess. So it's very convenient way to do it. By the way, there is the first question in the chat. Do you see it?
What is the most difficult topic for Russian learners? Um, in terms of grammar, probably perfect tenses. In terms of pronunciation, long and short vowels, I'd say so. Yeah.
I think the perfect tenses, you're absolutely right. It's a nightmare, especially the future perfect continuous, and like normal perfect is okay, but when you add the continuous form, it's a nightmare. Uh, okay. Great, thank you. Tell me, please. You told that you have some like background of teaching IELTS and maybe TOEFL preparation, and
Oh, thank God, correct, TOEFL. I've heard so many times TOEFL. I'm like, what is this animal?
yeah. You know, that actually I have heard too, and I was confused. So I Googled it, and now I know. And what was the reason for you to like to help, and like what is the difference from the ordinary teaching way in preparation for the some
Yeah.
certificates?
Yeah. Strictness, right? Level of strictness, as to say. Yeah, you see, I was always preparing for exams back home when I was in Vilnius. I was a member of panel for, as you call, YEGE. So
Yeah.
I was a makeup panel and then correction assessment panel. So I was always dealing with exams a lot. And I taught, you know, high school students who were all, the majority of them were going abroad to study abroad. And they had to take IELTS alongside this unified national exam, state exam. So yeah, just, you know, demand. It was demand, and all my students, senior classes, they had to take it. And yeah, that's how I got into basically, yeah, exams. But I like it. I like preparing for exams because then I see the motivation, and then you get the results, you know, then
Yeah,
you see
that's
the
the best.
results. Yeah,
And you know, the thanks after like 1 year, 2 year after the graduation, they say, "Oh, thank you," and yeah, that's the best. Uh,
oh, I
Now
see
I'm
my
gonna.
student writing me that I'm the best teacher. Thank you.
Tell me, please, like, yeah, well, like you prepare for TOEFL, for IELTS, but what other certificates do you have experience in?
FCE.
FCE, yeah.
FCE, then those would be my main ones, 3 main ones, and state exam. Yeah.
What about the CPE, these ones?
I've prepared for CPE, CAE. I've done them. I hate them. That's why I don't mention. Like CAE, I can deal with that, but CPE is like the writing part is super boring. I just can't stand it. It's just too much. Like I can do them. I've done them. I've prepared teachers on Skyeng on our platform, and yeah, it was just too boring for me. Like I like the part regarding idioms. That's my favorite part in CPE, like natural language. But when it comes to academic, it's kind of just boring. But maybe it's just my personal preferences. I don't know. Just,
but as I can see that you have more this British way of pronunciation, and I'm guessing the grammar too. Is it hard for you when you are like helping with TOEFL, because it's a bit different? Not very much, but like.
Yeah. Good one. Yeah, that's a good question. You see, I had to retrain myself for my Chinese students because only one school that requires British, other schools require American, and they even pay more if you have American English. So I had to retrain myself. I can actually explain kids, not only kids, but adults as well, if they want to change their accent, how to do that. I had 2 years. I tried. You see, mine is kind of British-Irish twist anyway, so I have some slipping out, some Irishness would slip out more often, you know. Yeah. You see, it like I know American English as well. Like I know Australian, I know American, I know South African, I know all accents, and I know differences between American and British. So it's not a problem, but I had to, because you see, I worked in English first. There was such school, and they only taught American English. So kind of, I always knew the differences. I just always hated everything American. I was kind of racist. But now I have to be dealing with this, you know.
Now I'm going to provoke you a little bit.
Okay.
What resources do you use when you help students to get ready for IELTS and TOEFL?
I use a lot of YouTubers, to be honest. I Google a lot. I do a lot of materials, you see, from different books. I don't have like one courseware. No. Like let's say I have a topic. Okay, today we're writing, let's say, essay on environment. I take one topic, environment, and I just do research on everything possible online on that topic. And then I kind of make up my own list. And definitely they would all have their course books for readings and listenings. I never do readings and listenings. I only focus on speaking and writing. Because
the active ones.
They would do those books, and I just explain them how to catch, you know, phrases from listening and how to do reading, scanning, and skimming. That is it. Nothing else. Like they do everything themselves. Sometimes I would check some vocabulary, but no speaking and writing. And that would be mainly my kind of materials that I've collected over the years, you know.
Which of the IELTS and TOEFL parts in terms of speaking is nightmare for you and for your students?
Nightmare? Like nightmare in TOEFL would be writing this, you know, when they have to read and listen and to write. That would be mostly nightmare. In terms of speaking, they don't like it. I don't know why. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, because to my students, like the hardest part is when you have to listen for 15 seconds and 45 to speak. Like, oh my God, what to say? And the opposite, 45 listen and 15 to speak. It's crazy. So,
This integrated,
Yeah, the integrated part, it's a catchy one, but it's easier. Well, for me.
I don't know. Like, I love essays. Essay writing, and I love essays. This is my cuppa, you know. So.
You're talking about the general part or the academic part?
I could like both. It doesn't really matter. I'm not a big fan of academic language, but in terms of writing, I need to do that, and I do it no problem. I like essays.
Wonderful. This will be my like sign for today. It means I agree. Okay.
And you, do you like them, by the way? Sorry, it's all about me. So what about you? Do you like
the
them?
essays, yeah, you can say I like them. I don't love them, but I like them. Yes. Especially, you know, the one that they have in the academic part, where you have some chart and you have to describe like in the difference, how it, like the ups and downs, and yeah, it's a tricky one. It's not hard, but I don't like it.
Yeah, agree.
Speaking part is more easy for me.
What?
You have one question. Oh my God, you have
Yeah.
so many questions already. Let's answer them. So Yoga Green, I guess it's your subscriber.
Yeah,
And,
that's my student. Yeah, Svetlana, very good student.
Yay! Hello, Svetlana. And the question is about the widespread to study native speakers who aren't teachers. Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's okay?
I didn't see the question. That non-natives are teaching?
Yeah, it is widespread to study with native speakers who aren't teachers.
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, you see, this is like kind of, if you go to our teaching groups, our Facebook teaching groups in the morning, it would be always one post about this. Somebody would be venting, ranting, you know, either non-native or native. It's a war that will be never-ending. Natives say that non-natives can't teach, even though some natives say, oh my God, some non-natives are much better than natives. Non-natives always, you know, pull legs of natives, saying that, oh, you are John like a builder. How can you teach if you don't even have a degree, you know? Like go and do your, you know, put your bricks, you know? Like, you know, it's really hard to say. I personally, I'm against people doing job if they're non-professionals. That's for sure. Like, I love a lot of, and I have a lot of like people with whom I'm in touch who are natives. And let's say even my husband's cousin, he is Irish and he lives in Vietnam. He's been teaching all his life and he doesn't have a degree, but he just has CELTA. But he's been doing it like for more than 20 years. Obviously, he's professional. He's lived like all over Asia, you know, and Europe. Of course, he's professional. I do trust him. But if it's, you know, like a lot of companies started doing those referrals, and when they were, there are a lot of Chinese companies that pay teachers to refer other teachers, native teachers bring other natives, their neighbors, and blah, blah, blah. And at the moment, it's oversaturated market with those teachers. And they're really bad because they're just used to just see material provided by Chinese schools and just read the script. And they don't even realize what's going on. They can't explain anything. They just like talking heads, you know. Obviously, I'm against those things. But for little kids, maybe it works. But obviously, for people who are planning to do something more, they need exams and probably, it all depends.
So your idea is you have to be professional. It doesn't matter you're native or non-native.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Yes.
Spot on.
Zoya is writing that she can't understand. Zoya, we will talk about it in our lesson.
Oh, she can't understand me. I have to speak slower. Okay, more slowly. Okay, sorry.
We will adapt. Yes. Okay. Well, she's just starting her trip, but I'm hoping that she will understand. We will break it down in our lesson.
Yeah, we can actually swap to Russian if needed, if something like...
Let's keep it English, so it will be a challenge for the guys.
All right.
Okay. Now, after this, what is the specific of teaching? Well, you have experience of teaching Russian students, and you said Chinese and many others. Like, is there any
Turkish,
specific
French,
and any,
German.
yeah, or like any difference, or all the same mistakes, same methodology?
No, they have different mistakes. Russian students, my favorite, don't tell anyone. Obviously, Russian, Ukrainians, Belarusians, Kazakhs, I kind of still, like, it would be very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
But talking of Chinese students, they, yes, Светлана, ленятся некоторые русские студенты. But that's true, she knows, because the thing is, Chinese are hardworking. This is like, yeah, you can't take it away from them. They really work hard. Russians may be not as hardworking, less diligent, but more charming in terms of when you speak, you get more kind of ideas from Russian students because they are interested in other cultures. They are the most, how to say, their bringing is very intellectual, you know. Our kids are brought up in multicultural environment. We know about other countries, whereas kind of Chinese focus only on their own country mostly. The same other Europeans, they're not really interested in other countries. They kind of stick to their own. Yeah, so in terms of Russian students have problems with certain, let's say, grammar. The Chinese, let's say, don't have this problem, or Europeans. Spanish have problem v sounds, and they always pronounce like because they don't have z. Russians probably have problems pronouncing the and the, but I always say that's not a problem. In Ireland, we don't have those sounds as well. So it's thank you, 30. So, yeah, Russian students have their own differences. Let's say Turkish speak a lot, and if you take out everything from their sentence, it would be if you just a lot of function words like for, in, up, on, and they use everything, and it doesn't make sense, you know. Well, then you kind of throw out everything. But all students all have their own, you know, charm and difference, and it's really cool to have students from all over, you know. And I would say Russian students are the ones that are mostly interested in culture. That would be definitely different thing, because they always ask about culture, about how is it, how do you do this, how do you do that. Like other students are not as interested in culture, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. You know, I had the same experience, but with Japanese student, just like you said, very like into work, hardworking, like always on the topic, like don't like to laugh at the jokes, like only just let's focus, let's do it. And yeah, I totally understand it, and thank you, that was wonderful. Again, my like sign for today. Now let's continue. Tell me please, I want first of all to congratulate you with your YouTube channel. It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I like it. And to all of the guys from like my stream, I'm gonna send a link and they will subscribe to you. What are your future YouTube plans, and like how do you see your channel developing? Where are you going? Will it be a teacher portfolio, or will it be like some for your students? What's gonna be?
Yeah, so definitely I'll try to stick to 3 languages yet, English, Russian, and Lithuanian. And definitely because I see quite an interest from teachers. That was like surprise. Like, yeah, I'm being contacted by teachers, and that's really cool, because to exchange the information, you know, experience, and I really like talking to Russian English teachers, because to be honest, it's very interesting, because you guys are very focused on this academic language, on those, you know, correct forms, and we are kind of more relaxed, you know, in this sphere. So that's good experience for me as well, you know. I want to grow both ways,
Yeah.
students and teachers. Definitely, I would like to do more content for teachers, yes, because I'm being asked quite a few questions there. So,
And
and natural language, a bit of slang as well. So yeah, some phrases, idiom, slang as well, and like a little bit more raising awareness about Ireland, because people have to know that it's not Britain.
yes, yes. I saw you yesterday's stories about the famous guys and like who are they, and yeah, that's really interesting. You know,
Oh,
I
thank
only
you.
got maybe 50% of that, but I'm catching up. I'm googling
Okay,
everything about Ireland.
great, thank you.
Tell me, please, since you have this rich experience with a lot of students, what was your most like shocking experience in terms of culture?
Um,
Like
could you repeat that, please? Sorry.
like the culture shock like that you had
Mhm.
come across.
My culture shocks. In terms of students,
Yeah, of course.
mm, I had culture shock. I don't know. I'm not sure I can talk about it. But if it's something really bad, you can remove
No,
it. Yeah.
if it's bad, you
No, like some students, especially like in, let's say in China, they can eat and they can be half naked in front of teacher, and some young learners even
my
take
God.
phone to the toilet. That was culture shock. And definitely I had a culture shock when I saw parents beating their children in front of, yeah,
On camera.
yes. Like that was proper culture shock. Like, yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
was like, I couldn't, you know, even function after that. And we all talk about it all the time in our chats. Other teachers experience that, but you see, it's their way of life, it's their culture. We can't enforce. It's
Yeah,
their way of life, you know, and
yeah,
kind of, you know, was very unpleasant, really unpleasant. Thanks God now I don't teach with that school anymore. My school is super good because you see, they're very different depending where the schools are. And now my school is in a very nice place, and students are totally different, and parents are totally different. And yeah, yeah. So that would be, you know, my culture shocks. But regarding Russian speakers, I didn't have any culture shocks. I was actually very surprised positively, and really how inspired they are, how interested they are, how clever they are, and how they want to know everything. And I had a culture shock that I've positive one, that I've realized that all this propaganda in the Western world against
mm,
Russia is bullshit.
yeah, yeah. This is like the best word that you can get.
Mm.
It's total bullshit. By the way, Daddy is asking a question, I guess. Hi, guys. I completely agree with your point of view. Russians are. Okay, I will tell you something about Daria. She says that she's lazy. She is not lazy. She is one of the most hardworking persons I have ever met. She is a working mother and she has time to study. She finds it, she tries, but she always says that she's lazy. So, you know, this A grade student. Daria, you are not lazy. We will talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, and I see my student is lazy. She writes only in Russian. Okay. We're gonna have a serious conversation on Tuesday. Yeah, yeah. So, and I wanted actually to say that how I really admire the stuff you do. Like you have very interesting, like also streams and stories and your posts, the information. I actually scroll down sometimes, you know, oh yeah, that's good point. That's a valid point here and there.
Thank you.
Like really professional, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm shy. I'm getting red. Stop it.
Fair play to you.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you, my
say
friend.
Georgi, or how do I say your name correctly?
Well, if we speak in English terms, you can say George, although we don't translate names, but Georg is fine too.
Okay,
It's up to
okay,
you. Yeah.
yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you, my friend. That's really nice. No.
My pleasure. And
Okay.
which accent do you prefer, by the way, British or American?
Well, I liked your story. I think it was last week that there was like this elephant and there was this penguin, and there was a guy with elephant head and penguin body, and it was like English and American, and this was the child. So that's mine. I think that I'm closer to the Americans because I have a very big experience of communicating with the American guys, and but I like you can say whatever you want, but I love British grammar because it's so logical, it's so nice, and it's like it's wonderful. But I like how American sounds, but how you write in English. So
Okay.
it's different.
No dropping U's. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
And in
now.
TOEFL, definitely they have to drop U's, right? Or if they don't drop, would it be considered an error?
Oh, I guess yes. I'm
Even
guessing yes.
theater, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'm guessing it will be a mistake. Well, it depends because, as you know, there are four main points of grading the essays, and grammar is one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that if you make this mistake, like for example, in some preposition, you say in instead of on, maybe some of the tutors who are checking it will say, "Oh, okay, that's English too." Like, I don't think
that's what, like, yeah, because you see, when I was marking essays for YEGE state exam, we could accept American, but it should be consistent. Within one piece of writing, it should be consistent. And the same speaking, if somebody says sidewalk, then they have to say, water, not water.
So, or torch.
Yeah, so it kind of has to be very, very consistent, even though I would never mark down for those things.
Yeah, because it's English. Like, it's not a mistake. It's just a different way to say it. So
So
depends. Okay, thank you. Now my next question. Now
you've done your bloody homework, haven't you?
I'm a good student. I'm a good student. You told me about your YouTube career and in terms of your plans, because now you're a teacher. I'm guessing that because your father is a teacher, you want to be a teacher forever. Maybe you want to build an empire of, I don't know, school or anything. Do you have any plans like that?
I used to have, it was like, with me, it was probably not my cup of tea, and probably I shouldn't be going there because I've opened my school in 2008. I opened it basically in July, and then everything kicked in, I guess, in August. Was it in August when it was first? And basically, so it's kind of, and I never really kicked in, so I never started. And after that, I don't know, I was always working for some schools, and now I'm an independent contractor. I love having my own, kind of business. When I want, I can go and travel wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. I don't know where we will be. We can go to the Middle East. I don't know where it will be next project of my husband, or we can come back home to Ireland, or maybe even in London. I don't know. My life depends on him. That's why I don't want to have, any commitment for anyone. Just my students, and that's easier for me. And I'll probably try to be more content maker in the future, maybe develop that sphere, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's wonderful plan, and I'm hoping and I'm wishing for you to do everything as you planned.
Thank you.
Tell me, please, my friend, you told me about the culture shock and that you had some unpleasant moments while you're teaching. But what is your inspiration when you see it? You say, yes, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on my right way.
When I see that students are stuck with me, for example, if we take our yoga green, Svetlana, she actually started, she was very, very low. She was, I'd say, mid-elementary, and she was planning to go to Dublin to study English in, those courses. And Really, I remember we started like a year and a half ago, I guess. And now she understands everything what I'm saying now because I see she's writing and translating everything. So, and during our lessons, I also use a lot of even slang and she understands, you know. So when I see that my students have progress, when they understand me and when they actually tell me, oh my God, now I speak English, it's because of you, I speak real English, or when they watch a movie or something and then they text me, oh my God, that's exactly how you told me, and he said this way, exactly, you told me not to basically use that and that structure, yeah, you were right, or something like, yeah, kind of those, you know, reviews are really important, and testimonials from students. And when they pass exam perfectly, like I had some guys who really had good results, and then they even didn't expect it, and then they wrote me, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, that's not me, that's you. You
Yeah,
did
yeah,
all the
that's the point.
job.
That's not us, that's them. Yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of keep in touch with all my students more or less. And if we go back to my students back home, the ones who are in international universities, they have very good careers. And yeah, I'm kind of happy that I've done something in life.
Um, that's great, but who is your oldest student
The oldest in
in terms of
like
talking with you?
retention, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say now. Several years for sure. I
Yeah.
like I'd say they all more or less 2 years, I'd say. Yeah, yeah. Because you see, I had a break in my teaching career. Like I was teaching always, but I worked for some companies in Ireland, and then when I was in Britain, I worked in brick and mortar schools, you know, as well. So it was not always online. I had a break, you know, brick and mortar of offline schools, you know.
Mm.
So, um, like online, technically full time, I started doing since when did I start? Mm, maybe 2018, September 2018. So, like, how many
Yeah,
years? 2 years? Been doing for
that's
2 years,
yeah,
yeah, now.
2 years. Oh my God.
Yeah, like full time. If we talk about like proper full time, only teaching, nothing else, you know.
Yeah,
So I'd say 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. 2 years, 1.5. Yeah.
that's great. That's wonderful. And we're speaking about the adults. Yeah, of course, not students.
With Chinese kids, I have, you see, with this school, I've started last April, and I have, I'd say, 50% of them stuck with me. Yeah. So
Mm,
those
okay.
kids, yeah.
Okay. What is the age of your youngest and the oldest student?
The youngest would be 2.5.
Two and a
Finished.
half. Oh
Yes.
my God. What
Yes.
can you teach to two and a half kid?
But you see, what they do, they expose kids to English at their early stages.
Oh, yeah. So they just listen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that makes sense.
yeah, and they want them, you see, to either emigrate or
Mm.
definitely study abroad.
Yeah.
So Britain, US, and Australia for studying abroad. Yeah. Um, the
The oldest?
oldest, I'd say 60ish.
60. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not old. That's young.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Mine is the youngest is 5, and I thought, oh, it's the youngest, and the oldest is 85. So
Jeez, how lovely. Wow.
yeah, yeah, and like he's planning on moving, and he's like traveling all around the world and communicating. Very active person. You would say he's
Great.
60ish, but yeah, he's 85.
Awesome.
That's
Cool.
great.
Yeah. Fair play.
Okay, okay, Davina. I have actually two questions left.
Mm-hmm.
So my questions are coming to their end. Maybe if there is something extra you would like to tell us or share with us before we begin them, because they're like this closing questions.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
No, I mean like maybe something extra you would like to add now, or maybe ask me, or anything else you would like to share with
Yeah,
us,
you
or
see,
we can go to the questions.
like, yeah, I've asked you about TOEFL, about this marking. I wanted to know because you have more experience with TOEFL for sure, because
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
doing TOEFL only last year. You see, I was always kind of pushing away everything American. Sorry, guys.
Well,
Like, yeah,
it
yeah,
really looks like IELTS. It's not that big a deal, like not that
yeah.
big difference, actually. Hmm.
hmm And yeah, I wanted, yeah, kind of your insight. What is the best way to prepare for IELTS and TOEFL? Like, what do you think? What is the best way?
Well, as you wisely mentioned, YouTube is my best friend in terms of preparation. And if we're talking about listening and reading, that's the number one resource you can go to. Also, there is a Magoosh website. I don't know if you heard it or not. So
Mhm.
they're providing you with fresh tests that you can actually, well, I'm guessing that they're taking somewhere, or maybe some of them works in this, related sphere. So they have them. And there's also, well, a lot of platforms, a lot
Mhm.
of, different
Mhm.
topics, but in terms of writing and speaking, it's always you have to speak. And I always tell my students who want, like usual lessons, like from 45 minutes to hour and a half, because more you get tired. I tell them, well, better to practice 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day than like we're practicing twice a week and you won't get the same result. Like practice
Absolutely.
every day, always write one essay. It's not hard, like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you can find the time easily. Like before you
Totally.
go to bed in the morning, doesn't matter. Practice and send it to me. I will check it like in my
Mhm.
time. It doesn't matter. Like no money charged. Just send it
Yeah,
and you will
yeah.
have the result.
Practice makes perfect for sure.
That's golden word. Hmm.
hmm Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I might come up with some more, but now off the top of my head, I haven't done my homework because I've been working today since 8 a.m.
Yeah, me too. And that's nice. That's nice that we have work
I
in this
know.
difficult time.
Yeah.
Uh, and we're coming to our like closing, and we talked about your like path, your future. I would like you to share some wisdom in terms of a lot of languages, and I'm guessing that you will know even more. What does knowing of languages give you in terms of freedom and like whole world?
hmm You see, understanding, when you learn a language, you kind of understand the culture. You understand the thinking of that person who speaks that language as native. And it's really cool, especially when you are trying, like when you start thinking in this language. Let's say for me now, I count in my mind and I think in English. Do you know, like kind
Mm,
of, I became like a native speaker, and yeah, obviously there would be some regional stuff that I don't get, but
yeah,
to be honest, native speakers like Irish and American sometimes miscommunicate. They don't get each other. The same with British,
yeah.
variety of accents and everything. So like it gets you understanding of thinking of that person. That gives you opportunities if you really love traveling, obviously, if you really love learning about different cultures. And you see, in Dublin we have almost all companies have their customer service headquarters, right,
Yeah.
in Dublin, especially all American ones, because our corporate tax is the lowest, and it's
Mhm.
basically 15%. So all Americans keep their head offices in Ireland. So we're kind of the hub of everything. Um, And there are a lot of job opportunities, even for Russian speakers, right? Because Russian is obviously language of international communication. And when you know languages, when you see that you know languages and you speak different languages, you have so many more job offers. And to be honest, nowadays, English and Russian is not enough. You need to know
Yeah,
Spanish or
yeah,
something
yeah.
else, German, you see, or French probably. Yeah, Italian probably wouldn't be so.
Chinese maybe, yeah, too.
Chinese, it's awesome, but 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 yeah, awesome to know it. Yes, possibilities in terms of job opportunities are out there
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I worked for Airbnb and I spoke with guys from all over the world. All my colleagues were, and they got job only because they have languages.
So
So
this was the main skill that was required, yeah?
yeah. So
Mm.
languages nowadays is as important as knowing how to use computer,
Mm.
like. And yeah, traveling, and you see, like I speak a little bit German, and I understand fluently Polish, and
Mm.
I can speak, but I
Wow.
just don't speak, but I can. And a little bit Spanish, a little bit Italian. French is the only English is the only language that I don't speak, except ordering drinks in the bar. That is it.
You can even do that. Oh my God, you're so talented.
But I'm rubbish in math. I can't even add two and two.
Yeah, and you told me that you're counting now in English.
Mhm.
Uh, have you ever had, misconception when you told some person in language that he doesn't know and you know that he doesn't know that, but in your brain you are like, okay, I will tell him in English, for example, or in Russian. Have you ever had
Uh,
this
what happens
trigger?
to me sometimes, I can wake up and I can forget which language I have to speak.
Oh
Let's
my
say
God,
it's
really?
like like I look at people and I always try to remember which language I'm using with them, like, okay, what language, like, of course at home with like husband, yeah, but if we're somewhere traveling or if we're visiting friends or friends come to us, and my friends told me many times that they start talking to them in English and they're like, come on, it can't be happening. Yeah. And it was after my Russian students. Sometimes I start speaking in Russian more. And yeah, for me, with this, like, I forget which language I need to speak. And sometimes I need to look at the person and remember if I need to explain something, is it Lithuanian or is it Russian?
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah, that's like wow. Yeah, but I had this kind of thing, but not like forgetting what language to speak. So I was born in Georgia and I was
mm,
living there maybe until I was 13 or 14. So I basically was speaking Georgian. I was writing, reading, and all of that. So I
mm,
was learning three languages at the same time and German too. That's four. And so I haven't been there for a long time, but last year me and my family traveled there. And when I came there, I started to speak Georgian with everybody. At first, it was awful, but then I just got into it and got skilled. But what happened is when we returned from there, on maybe every second English class, I like inserted one, two, three Georgian words, and people like, what are you saying? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
mhm.
where this word came from. I'm sorry. That's not. Don't remember that. So yeah, like I don't know how the brain works, but that's a tricky thing, really.
Yeah, yeah. When you're exposed in some to some, environment. You see, like now in Denmark, I tried learning Danish, but no, I kind of, it's like it's not worth learning it anyway. And
Yeah,
because
like
it's,
you will.
yeah.
It's not like the most famous, this language, but
Hmm.
still, and I think it's pretty hard. I've heard from
It
one
is,
of my
it
friends
is.
that it's hard. Yeah, it's like really hard.
It is hard, but yeah, I know how to say thank you, hi, and some elementary things. I can read because it really reminds German when it's written.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have a lot of girlfriends here who are married to Danish guys. They're from Ukraine, let's say, or Lithuania or Russia, and they are Fluent, yeah, they're fluent, and it's so cool. I have one girlfriend, she's from England, actually. She's from the north of England, and she's probably the only one who is still struggling because being an English native speaker, that's the worst thing that you can imagine in life, to learn another language.
Yeah,
Because for
yeah, I'm
them it's
guessing, yeah.
almost impossible. Let's say my husband, he's actually different. He speaks Spanish and he knows a little bit Russian. He used to work for a Russian company in Thailand. And yeah, he kind of was always interested in that culture and everything. So he does. He speaks with an accent and you don't understand what he says, but I already know his accent and I translate people.
And he has a wonderful tutor at home all the time, so who can help him
Well, you
in
see, he's
terms of
more
Russian?
interested in Russian, like a language, than I am, to be honest. I'm kind of, no, I'm always like, no, tell me how it would be like in Ireland, how we would do this and this. I'm kind of more into culture. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And you said Danish is difficult. Is it difficult in terms of sounds, in terms of
Yes.
grammar, rules?
Pronunciation, like they have this, for example, D, it's pronounced like U or something. Like if you see Odense city, Odense,
Yeah, yeah.
CE, they say uns.
And wow,
I don't know how, if I said it correctly. Sorry if there are Danish guys.
uh, I think there are no Danish guys now.
But yeah, like it's a nice country, but very difficult language. And I decided no. I know several phrases. It's more than enough.
Oh my God, our commentaries on Frozen. There are so many things that people wrote. I don't know, have you seen it or not? It's
No, I don't
just great.
know. Okay. Oh, the culture. Okay, Alexei, we can have another meeting and we'll probably tell more about Guinness and or to Dublin. Really cool. Alexei, like planned a trip to
He's
Dublin
very
this
curious in
year.
languages, by the way.
Pardon?
He's very curious in terms of languages.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, you see, Alexei, what we can do, we can have another, like
Yeah,
probably because this one is getting really long and we
yeah.
can speak about Irish culture and Guinness and any questions regarding that. Just be more specific, Alexei. What exactly you're interested?
Leave the teacher alone. She has worked a lot today.
No,
And
Guinness
maybe still
is
is gonna
like,
work. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's like, misconception that all Irish only drink Guinness. It's like people will say, oh, you in Russia, do you all drink vodka only? So no, because we have other things and we do drink Guinness, but mostly probably for Patrick's Day. Like I
Yeah.
don't even drink it too much now because I probably had too much of it in my youth, in my younger days. Yeah, and Dublin, you see, Alexei, I'm from Cork. And Cork and Dublin were two competitors. It's like Moscow
Mm.
and Petersburg. Probably you hate each other, guys. And the same with us. We are in the south. We are rebel city. We are the city that brought Ireland to independence. And we are very opinionated, compassionate people who don't like everything that is related to Dublin. We even have bad words, how we call them. So it's like, there are two, Ireland is pretty much divided. So pretty much normal Irish person, they will always be against Dublin. So wherever you ask them, everybody from Ireland will tell you, don't go to Dublin. Don't go to Dublin, go somewhere else. In Dublin, good pubs. Obviously, you will go to Temple Bar, probably area, but it's too expensive. I wouldn't recommend. I can
No,
send
that's a
him the
life hack.
list.
Let me write it down.
I can send Alexei a list where he wants to go, or I can make my stories specially for him, and I will write him where to go.
Can you please do it? That'd be nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I am gonna like and save that 100%.
yeah. Okay, cool. Deal.
And I want to stop this long hour torture and end it with some nicety. So I would like you to share some inspiration and wisdom for students. Or oh my God, do you see that the countdown? It says that it's gonna end in 20 seconds. So
Yes.
in 20 seconds, share your wisdom. Tell us everything.
Guys, study English. It's amazing language. It will help you in life for sure. Yeah.
Okay then. Thanks everyone for coming. I didn't know that there's